Oh, my mic was muted. We are back with another Wuthering Waves video. We're literally playing Wuthering Waves, and I wanted to go over Carlotta real quick. Carlotta is honestly one of the best units in the game. She's super easy to play, and she's honestly one of the more free-to-play units in the game. And I think for all beginners, she's almost a guarantee pickup right now. So this is going to be my quick TLDR Razor language guide. So going over everything right here, I just want to show you how she actually functions as we go through the kit. I think that makes it a lot easier to digest because in normal Koro fashion, I mean, there's a lot of mumbo jumbos in these kits, right? So pretty much the quick TLDR is she will get crit rate from her inherent skills as well as attack, which is amazing. The more crit rate, the better. That helps alleviate, you know, some of the substat issues, right? So Carlotta works with a crystal type system. What do I mean by this? So every time her basic attack chain is 1-2. Once you do these, you get 3 crystals here. It's going to be indicated over your Forte circuit. I then do my basic attack chain again. Said basic, I don't know what I just said, but you do your basic attack chain, and those crystals get converted into her Forte circuit. So if you see, it's like about 1/4 of her Forte circuit. So if I do that again, get 3. 6 crystals is going to give you half a Forte circuit. So in total, you need 3, 6, not 12. You need 12. Oh my god, I could have just 6 plus 6. You need 12 crystals to get her max Forte, but her crystal acquisition is very easy. As you see, you can either do the 1-2. You're able to do a dodge to get 3 crystals. You can hit your E. Your E actually has 2 forms, which we'll go over in a moment. Your E will give you 3 crystals, or you can hold heavy attack, and that'll actually give you 3. So with your heavy attack in E, you are getting 6 crystals, and if I hit E again here, and I use E, I can consume all 6 crystals as opposed to just doing 6 normal attacks to get those crystals to activate in my Forte, right? So just keep that in mind. That's pretty much the main crystal mechanic. Now, obviously, her Forte is active, but before we get into the Forte, I want to show you her skill again. So her skill, the first portion of it is going to give you 1/4 of the Forte, right? It's going to give you 3 crystals. If you do your E again, bam, it does a little spinneroonie Booker T in the air where she's able to go around the enemy and kind of just do extra damage. And that also consumes any type of crystal stacks you have. That's pretty much the basis of her E. Now her Forte circuit, again, really nothing too crazy. The couple main points you want to look at with the Forte is Carlotta activates Tinted Crystal every 22 seconds. So what is Tinted Crystal? This is pretty much to make sure you get the max buffs out of her Forte. You can't just spam your Forte over and over and over again to get the positive benefits of Tinted Crystal. You need to wait those 22 seconds. So this part I'm going to read and I'll demonstrate. When substance is full and Tinted Crystal is activated, hold normal attack to consume all substance and cast heavy attack Imminent Oblivion, after which Tinted Crystals enter cools down. Deal Glacio damage and reduce the cooldown of the Resonant skill, Art of Violence, by 6 seconds. So you actually reduce your Resonant skill damage by activating this, which is great. I'll show you in a moment. Final Blow. When substance is full, this is her Forte gauge, enter the Final Blow state. Increase the damage multiplier of Resonance Liberation. This is all parts of Resonance Liberation by 80%. This effect ends when Carlotta is switched off field during Twilight Tango or Twilight Tango ends, which is in the Resonance Liberation. What they're pretty much saying is, if you're activating that Forte circuit and you activate your Resonance Liberation, you cannot swap off. You want to make sure that you stay on that character. That's it, right? And so again, this tells you where the substance is, the multiple crystals, etc. So my Forte circuit is currently active. If you see, she has like the little crystals in her hair, which is really sick game design, by the way. So all I got to do is hold normal attack. But I want to show you something real quick. I'm going to hit E. I'm going to get my cooldown to be 12 seconds. Now I'm going to hold normal attack. Brings the cooldown substantially. Oh, my face is covering it. I apologize. I got a big ass head. But it brought my cooldown down from 14 seconds, 12 seconds. Oh my god, 14 seconds to 4 seconds, or 12 to 4, whatever it was. I can't do math, right? But if you noticed, this crystal is still blue. It's not red. That means that if I were to obtain enough Forte stacks right now to activate it again, it won't be ready to actually get all of the benefits. Now that the crystal is red, once I activate my Forte, I'll get the full buffs. That's pretty much it. Very simple. So you want to get max Forte. When the crystal is red, activate the Forte. And if you're going to activate your burst, make sure you don't swap off. And it will also reduce your skill cooldown. Now, the burst is pretty simple as well. Pretty straightforward, but there's some really great stuff here in the burst. So you are going to apply something called deconstruction. right? Deconstruction is going to give you an 18% defense shred on any enemy. Now, while you activate this, in your burst, you're pretty much going to do 5 big booms, right? You're going to do 5 massive shots of damage, and that is going to just going to kill the enemy. I'm not going to lie to you. Carlotta's broken, brother. Also, throughout her whole kit, she is based off of resonance skill damage as well. Just keep that in mind. So I'm just going to show you real quick in a moment. But before I do that, I want to show you the inherent skills. I was jumping the gun. So the inherent skill says, after casting Resonance Skill Chromatic Splendor, Carlotta can perform mid-air attacks while being immune to any damage interruption mid-air. So when you're doing the big spinneroonie, you will not be interrupted. Now, the one bad part about Carlotta's kit is they're locking Exploration behind her, so it's just as worse as Genshin Impact. It's unfortunate. No, I'm kidding. Before I get canceled, get clipped out of context. Also, you will get a 20% flight stamina reduction in Renacita when you have that active, right? The second inherent skill is letting you know your intro skill, Resonance Liberation, and Heavy Attack can inflict deconstruction as well, so you're able to inflict that 18% defense shred. So now I will show you how she actually operates in game, because really simple, not too hard to play. And I love her, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, she's really great. So I'll go to team compositions and whatnot in a bit, but what I'm about to show you is her best team comp. It's going to be Carlotta, it is going to be Gigi, and Shorekeeper. I like to put Shorekeeper in number 2. That's just for me personally, and then Gigi right here, and I'll get into why they synergize so perfectly right after, right? So this TOA has Glacial Resistance, so I'm probably not going to do as much damage as I would, but it is what it is. So I'm going to Heavy Attack, get my 3, get my 6. I swap cancel right there, so you're actually able to cancel that animation a little bit once she starts getting in the air. Go to my Shorekeeper. We want to get that Gold Cleaner Nuclear Celeram up. Bam, 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 bam. We're going to then swap into Gigi. Now, Gigi is going to give us Resonant Skill damage buff with her Concerto Energy, as well as a Resonant Skill damage buff, which is beautiful. We love that from her. So do that. I'm going to activate her burst, because why not? It is what it is. Extra Coordinated Strikes. Swap off. Carlotta is going to get 3 from the intro. Another 3 from there. Bam. I apply my Forte. Deconstruction was already on the enemy because of the intro skill. Now, boom. 1, 2. Oh, so the boss can actually interrupt you. So we did miss. Did we miss a shot there? I think we might have missed the second shot. But that's why it's good to use your Q. Excuse me, your E. Also, once you were done, make sure to hit Q. That way, you are getting the damage from her Echo. We'll go more in depth over the Echo in a moment, but I'm going to hit E here. We're going to activate that. Bam. Okay. Go into Gigi. And you can see the rotation's pretty simple. Thankfully, we got Bro's health down. My man is annoying as hell. I ain't gonna lie to you. Boom. And this is going to get us our full max Forte. Activate it. Resonance Liberation. You're going to get 5 shots in total. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can freeze them real quick just to make sure. 5. Bam. Hit your Q. You want to outdraw out your Shorekeeper. You get your Shorekeeper outro, and then you're going to get additional 45,000, or I think it was 16,000, some crazy amount of damage from your Echo. And that's pretty much how Carlotta functionally operates in-game. Pretty simple, to be honest with you. It's really not that bad. And now we're going to go over her team compositions, her best weapons, etc. Because at the end of the day, the fact that she's able to freeze enemies with her E, and I apologize, I didn't mention that at the beginning. With her E, she is able to freeze an enemy to, I believe it's 1.4 seconds. Makes her so valuable, right? So that part is pretty crazy. Now, weapon-wise, clearly the Last Dance, this is her best in slot. This is going to be superior. It's giving you 72% crit damage, which is massive. That helps alleviate the substats on your Echoes a lot. But it's giving you the attack plus 12, and then a 48% resonance skill damage buff if you use your intro skill or resonance liberation, which obviously you'll be using at least your resonance liberation. Now, if you don't have Last Dance, your only other option, and it's great because it's free to play, is Static Mist. Don't use anything else. Just lock down Static Mist. It's going to get up to about 22-ish crit rate. It's going to give you 12% ER, and then incoming Resonator's attack increased by 10%. That part's kind of whatever, but it's good for the ER. It's good for the crit rate. That's going to be that. Now, her Echo set is going to be the new one right here. Frosty Resolve. This is going to give you Resonant Skill damage bonus, and then casting Resonant Skill grants Glacio damage bonus. Casting Resonance Liberation increases Resonant Skill damage. This is literally tailor-made for Carlotta. Okay, this is perfectly made for her. Now, with the Sentry, your 4 cost, you want to make sure you are running Sentry. The reason why is if we scroll down here, it says the Resonator with this Echo equipped in their main slot gains 12% Glacio damage bonus and 12% Resonant Skill damage bonus. So on top of all the other buffs you're getting from the set itself, Sentry is already giving you that buff, right? Now, keep in mind, again, I like to hit Q off rip at the end of my rotation just because it's going to give me an extra 15, 20,000 damage, whatever the case may be, and it's non-intrusive. Now, if you're talking about substats, you want to go crit rate, crit damage, resonance skill, attack is good. ER is good as well, but it depends. So me personally, I think you need really around 115, 120 to be comfortable, but it really depends on what characters you're using, and I'll get to that in a moment. But that's pretty much it for the Echo side, right? Nothing too crazy there. For her talents, by the way, you want to focus Forte first, Res Liberation second, Res Skill third, and then you probably do your intro fourth, and then basic attack last, because you're just a basic bitch, right? Now, team compositions. Since Carlotta is Glacio and Resonant Skill dependent, as I've already said, the best in slot is going to be Gigi. There's like a little thing on my mic and it's bothering me, so I just took it off, I think. Yeah, there we go, bam. Her outro skill is going to give you Glacio and Resonant Skill, but also her inherent skill is giving you 15 Resonance Energy. 15 Resonance Energy for just doing an outro is great, and that helps the ER requirements with Carlotta a little bit, so keep that in mind. That will be her best in slot. Sub DPS, obviously Shorekeeper is the best support. If you have Verena can work as well. You just won't get that crit rate, crit damage buff, right? Now, for alternatives for the sub DPS section, we have a couple, right? My personal favorite is Yang Yang. The reason why I like Yang Yang is due to the fact that if you have Yang Yang as 6, you're going to get that 20% attack buff, but also her outro skill is really great, where it's going to give you resonance energy as well. So I think it's going to give you 20 over the course of 5 seconds or so, I don't know, something like that. But it's giving you resonance energy, and she has CC on her, so it's not bad. If you build her properly, she can do a decent amount of damage. Obviously, you want to throw her on Moonlit. The next one would be Tauchi. Now, I personally don't like Tauchi. I just like the Aboba. But when you look at this, I don't even know what her S6 does. I don't even know if it gives an attack buff, but that's not what it's there for. Her outro is giving you a 38% resonance skill damage amplifier. Now, I personally don't like the way Tauchi plays. I also don't like the way Lumi plays, which I'll show you in a moment. But this is a massive damage amplifier for the unit. So Tauchi is a valid option. Same with Lumi. Lumi's outro skill is going to provide a 38% resonant skill damage amplification. Don't like how they play. They're not for me personally, but they could absolutely work. I like Yang Yang because she's completely free to play. You get her off rip, and realistically, she's actually kind of fun to use. So those are the teams. You could, and I'm saying could, this isn't the greatest thing in the world, but if you did Carlotta, Shorekeeper, and you get the Gokli or Stellaram, and then you use Sanhua to get the Concerto energy as fast as possible, but you do have to keep in mind, you still have that 22-second cooldown on your Forte. I've seen people clear with this. I myself have cleared with this team. Very doable, but it's not the most recommended, but another free-to-play option, I guess, right? And so the last thing I would say is constellations. Carlotta's constellations are absolutely stupid. The way I view it is, personally, I don't like getting constellations. It makes the game a little bit less fun for me. But if I'm looking at this at a stopping point, really up to S3 is all you need to go. Her S1 and S2 are super strong as well. So her S1 is when Carlotta deals damage to a target inflicted with deconstruction, which we know how that applies, the crit rate of the instance of damage is decreased by 12.5%. When Resonant Skill Chromatic Splinter hits a target inflicted with disruption, Carlotta additionally gains 30 points of substance. So they're giving you a crit rate buff, as well as giving you more points of substance. Crit damage, too, says the damage multiplier of Resonance Liberation. Fatal Finale is increased by 126%, which is fucking nutty. The very last thing that I think I think you can stop at C0 personally, but if you really want, I think you can stop at C2. But C3 is enable Ultra Skill Kaleidoscope Sparks, deal 1 additional strike at the end of Ultra Skill closing remark, dealing glacial damage equal to 1,302.18% of Carlotta's attack. The damage multiplier of Resonant Skill Art of Violence and Resonant Skill Chromatic Splendor is increased by 93%. Boys, whatever you're fighting with S1, S2, S3, it ain't standing. It just won't be standing anymore. So you don't got to go past that. You don't got to go past S0. I think you go for her. I think you go for a weapon. Call it a day. But with that being said, that is my Razor Language Carlotta guide. I love you. I hope you enjoy. And I will see you in the next one.